Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Deciphering Paganini. We are at his Caprice number 10 right now. In this video, I will try to show my process of how I learn these difficult pieces from start to finish. I've never played his Caprice number 10 before, and I will try my best to take you through my thought process and different exercises that I come up with to tackle these problems that I encounter in learning a piece like this. The first step to learning a new piece is, of course, you need to sight read it first and spot the problems. And my tip to sight reading is to look ahead as much as you can. Most of the time I look one bar ahead, but when things get too difficult, I revert back to maybe 1 or 2 notes ahead. It's a habit that you can develop over time. Anyway, let's start. As I'm sight reading, I'm actively looking ahead to anticipate what's coming, and also at a glance you can tell what sort of techniques are involved. Mostly in this piece is upbow staccatos and trills. So straight away in my head I think of all the etudes that I have played before. You can check out my Road to Paganini series. All of the etudes that I have played so far covers most of these techniques. For upbow staccato, I can think of Wolfhard, Kesar, Mazaz, Kreutzer. And for trills, Kreutzer is probably the best because he has like more than 12 or 13 etudes in a row focusing on trills. As I was sight reading just now, I was debating what kind of upbow staccato should I do. Should I go all the way to the tip so that I have enough bow for the notes, or should I stay in the middle and get that very articulated upbow staccato? And for my personal taste, I think I will try to stay in the middle and sort of use the momentum of my wrist and fingers. I think it sounds better, and also when it's fast like this, I don't like my arm getting locked up at the upper half. So my decision for the bowing technique, I have already made up my mind. I would do it in the middle. Once the bowing technique is settled in my mind, I just try to look for the places that I struggled a lot with just now playing. The first page of this Caprice is actually not that complicated. Some of the melodies were repeated quite a number of times, and while they were repeated, I tried out different fingerings. I tried to play different fingering each time to see which one is the best. The suggested fingering here I don't really like that fingering as I was playing, so I started experimenting. I think I like that better. Shifting here. Shifting like this. It's actually a trick a friend of mine taught me from the famous excerpt of Schumann's Scherzo. Here. It's actually a lot better. A lot better than the 1-1 shift. It's better to shift with 3-2, then you don't have to rush. decided for the fingering here. And I decided to stay in second position instead because of the octave. And once that's settled, the first 4 lines, at least in my score, the first 4 lines is pretty much just a repeat, so I have half of the page down. Then in the next part here, the funny thing about difficult passages is that because they are so difficult, there is very limited number of ways to play them. And also in the score, it's marked with Roman numeral 3 and a 1. That means D string and E string. So I just have to stay in D string and E string. And also the shape of the notes. Most of the time the shapes tells you a lot. Looking at the shape, I know they're pretty much the same, similar interval. So I just took a gamble and I said it probably doesn't change, and that's how I played it. Maybe here I need to change a little bit. It's just high position intervals get smaller, so you do need to adjust a little bit, but this is how to play this passage. And this string skipping is very similar to number 2. So I use my existing finger to mute the middle string, then you don't have to worry about the open string sounding. So mute the middle string. Yeah, so that's 6 lines down. And then the next part. Just first position, except for the last 3 bars. This place, however, is would be difficult for intonation, but if you know how to do guiding finger refers to, I use my second finger to guide my hand up to 3rd position, so in my second finger I'm actually feeling D flat. And here to this G flat, I'm feeling G flat on G string. So I can do this quickly because I practiced a lot of scales, Carflesh scales, and also there is an exercise book specifically specializing in shifting. It's a very useful book. Where you do all that exercise, and if you practice it enough, you will develop these muscle memory to guide you to different positions, and I did that a lot when I was a teenager. So here, so that's the first half of the Caprice down. The second half is much harder than I thought it would be, so I will need to practice it a little bit. Okay, so after the repeat sign, there's a bunch of arpeggios. The arpeggios itself is not that bad. They're just within their own position with a little bit of stretching here and there. So this is 5th, shifting to 4th, and then back to 5th, 1st, 3rd, stretch. Here is the difficult part for me. The key change, the tonality, is a little bit confusing with all the accidentals. 10th stretch. And here is what tripped me off. this E natural, I couldn't feel where fifth position is. So this is the exercise I came up with to help me practice. Once the position's clear in my head, the notes are easier to find. And then I think we move to B major briefly. I just follow the written fingering. In this E major section, I get confused in this bar because of I can't feel which position it actually is, but after thinking about it, it's the same position. It's fourth position. So in my mind, I was thinking, oh, is it third position stretch? No, you just have to stay in fourth position. So it's just stretch, 10th, this is a very cool section. So after looking at the piece this way, I know the biggest problem I'm going to face is probably the middle section where there's a lot of key changes and modulations. So I need to make sure I can feel each position and the fingering has to be correct. Then after that, it should be pretty smooth, hopefully. Bye.